Consequences that I've given my kids who are 6, 4, and 2 in the past few days so that you have some examples of what it looks like to be a respectful parent. My 6-year-old was floofing around and took a really long time to get ready for bed, so she only had 5 minutes to read with me before she laid down instead of 20. That was the natural consequence of her spending her time dilly-dallying. My 4-year-old kept screaming in the bath, and I told him, hey, you've got to use a quiet voice if you're going to stay in the bath. He screamed again, so we got out of the bath, right? My 2-year-old ran away from me in a park, and so I told him the consequence was going to be that he had to hold my hand while we were there because I could no longer trust that he was going to stay safe near us. My kids kept getting up and down from the dinner table, running around, playing instead of sitting and eating. So I gave them one more reminder. If you want to eat your dinner, you have to be sitting at the table. They got up and ran again, and so I put their dinner away because they were showing me that they were no longer hungry. That's the logical consequence in that situation. My 2-year-old was being really rambunctious and wanted to crash Magna-Tile castles, but my 4 and 6-year-old wanted to build theirs and not crash it. He kept going for their work, so his logical consequence was, hey, you have to come over here. You can build Magna-Tiles over here. You can't work next to your brother and sister anymore. There was no punishing. There was no sending him to timeout. There was no, you're being so bad, right? He's a 2-year-old. He naturally is curious about crashing things. That's the development he's in versus my 4 and 6-year-old who want to sit and concentrate and build stuff. So the logical consequence, the discipline, the teaching was you have to build over here now. You can crash, you can do whatever you want, right? But you can't be there. This is the thing about consequences, and there's so many like natural and positive consequences that happen in our house every single day too, but they're not that complicated, right? If you cannot immediately see what a natural related consequence would be in a situation, you're probably thinking about it too hard and you're moving into threats and punishment, which is not helpful, which is not effective, and is not going to make your kid have any better behavior.